Goro is watching an idol DVD in a patient's room in a hospital revolving around his favorite idol, Eye of B. Komachi, until a nurse politely rebukes him over it. The nurse then informs Goro that Eye has gone on hiatus due to poor health. Hearing this devastating news, Goro recalls when he first started out as a doctor in the hospital about a patient named Serena, who changed his life forever. A flashback involving Goro and Serena shows that Serena was a cancer patient obsessed with the idol group B. Komachi. She tells Goro her favorite singer is Ai, and talks about the possibility of being born a celebrity's child if she were to die. Though Goro coldly dismisses the idea of being reborn as a celebrity and claims that Serena can become an idol when she is discharged. Goro also claims he'd become her fan, causing Serena to embrace him lovingly and ask him to marry her, but he flatly declines, but states he'll consider it when she becomes 16. In the present, Serena died at age 12 of anaplastic astrocytoma. Goro heads to see his next patient, and to his astonishment, it was Ai, who, accompanied by her agent Ichigo, was 20 weeks pregnant. When Goro steps outside to wrap his head around the situation, he overhears Ichigo asking who the father is of Ai's child, which she claims was a secret. After performing an examination on Ai, it was learned that Ai was pregnant with twins. Ichigo claims that Ai's career as an idol would be ruined if word got out about her pregnancy, and when Ai asks for Goro's opinion, he states that the final choice lies with her. On the hospital rooftop, Goro reflects on the self-centered nature of idol fans. Moments later, Goro is joined by Ai, and they have a heart-to-heart about why she's in the countryside rather than Tokyo, about Serena, a former patient of his that was a big fan of AI. They also talk about how Ai decided to keep her unborn children, all while continuing being an idol and withholding said information from the public. Ai then explains that lies are the most exquisite form of love. Listening to this resolves Goro to ensure that he safely delivers Ai's children for her. The following day, Goro explains the process of Ai delivering Ai's babies either by C-section or sophrology, which concern Ichigo. However, Ai was confident in her health and would deliver her babies without trouble. On Ai's expected delivery day, Goro walks outside, where an elusive man confronts him about Ai being hospitalized there. When Goro questions the man about where he got his information from and if he's related to Ai, the man rushes off, and Goro pursues him. Goro's pursuit of the man leads him to a cliffside by the mountains, where he's pushed to his death. As Goro's consciousness fades, he recalls what Serena said about being reborn as the child of a celebrity. As it turns out, Goro was reborn as one of Ai's twins, Aquamarine, aka Aqua. To Aqua's perplexion on why he was reborn with his previous life's memories intact, he, as a former doctor, hopes to figure out how and why. Until he does, Aqua plans on enjoying his life with Ai to the fullest. Aqua's twin sister Ruby is also introduced, and as Ai cradles her two children, Ichigo and Miyako visit them. Ichigo announces his plans to have Ai return to the idol scene. Furthermore, Ichigo refuses to allow Ai to bring her children to the studio or any public place. That night, while Miyako begrudgingly babysits Aqua and Ruby, Aqua turns on the TV to see his mother nearly flub an interview where she reveals she had a baby. After this, Bikomachi performs one of their songs, and Aqua watches intently while seeing a positive side to his death from a murderous fan of his mother. Immediately, Ruby learns that their mother is on TV and fawns over her performance. It's also revealed that Ruby was another reborn individual after seeing her having a flame war with some fans using their mother's smartphone. Unbeknownst to the two, Ai's stalker who killed Goro was visibly upset that she lied to them. One day, Ai leaves to perform her idol duties again with Ichigo, leaving Miyako in charge of babysitting her twins again. Then, Miyako has a meltdown despite being the president's wife. She's tasked with babysitting, right as Miyako was taking pictures of Ai's health records, showing that she was pregnant with twins as a way of starting a scandal. Aqua, however, confronts Miyako sitting on top of the coffee table, claiming he's a divine messenger to stop her. At first, Miyako believed that Aqua talking was some prank, but when Ruby, who also played along with Aqua's fabrication, claims that the gods of entertainment chose Ai, she also claims that Aqua and herself were the ones who bore a monumental destiny, and if she were to ruin it, Miyako would perish. The revelation makes Miyako tearfully remorseful, and Ruby asks that she protect them and keep their ability to speak a secret. Miyako believes it after hearing that a second marriage to a handsome actor isn't out of the question. After this, Aqua asks Ruby if she was an actress in her previous life, but Ruby denies it, claiming she was raised in an unusual environment. Aqua then claims that Ruby may have the talent to be in the entertainment industry, giving Ruby contemplation about her future. One night, Aqua covers Ruby, who was sleeping on their couch, with a blanket, and calls her Serena, which makes her wake up. Upon waking up, Ruby walks away and briefly looks at Aqua, considering that he may be Goro from her previous life. Despite the fervent return of Bikomachi, the group's profits weren't lucrative, which Ai complains about. Miyako then opines on the downsides of being associated with a small talent agency. Hoping to provide her children with a good life and education, Ai vows to do her best to earn more money for her kids. Ai then leaves, and Aqua explains to Ruby about the average pay of idols and how the profits they make are split between various factors. The two then vent their frustration to Miyako, who explains the life of idols who go solo and, if they fail, become either waitresses at high-end bars in Roppongi or Minato girls. Eventually, the twins attend a mini-concert where they watch their mother's group perform. Amid their mother's performance, they unintentionally draw attention to themselves by cheering with the crowd. Their act also went viral with a 2 million viewed video. AI was also intrigued by it, taking note of a fan's comment about her smile, which Ai claimed she'd use to her advantage. 1 year passes, and the twins can walk and talk without secretly needing to do it. Also, during that time, Ai accrued new jobs, and her latest one was a minor part in a TV drama series. At the scene of the set, director Taishi leaves an intense impression on the twins due to his appearance. Aqua would later run into Taishi, who threatened that if he cried or made a scene there, he'd be kicked out. Panic-stricken, Aqua profusely apologized to him, which shocked Taishi how Aqua's vocabulary was so immense. Taking an interest in Aqua, Taishi offers him his business card, and Aqua claims that instead of him, he'd rather have the job offers go to his mother. Taishi then explains the difficulty of the entertainment industry with 3 types of actors: the main ones, natural talent, and newcomers. They then watch Ai's performance, and Taishi claims that her acting was average, but notes it at least draws attention. That evening, Ai and her children watched the show where Ai performed, but were shocked to see that she only appeared in a small scene. Aqua contacted Taishi over this, who explained that the lead actress's agency had Ai's scenes cut back, due to her not stealing the limelight with her beautiful looks. Despite this outcome, Taishi claims he'd like his mother to participate in an upcoming film he'll be directing on the condition that Aqua appears in it too. On the day of the film's first recording, Taishi explains the contrast between a high-budget and a low-budget production to Aqua. Taishi also reveals that the film they're doing that day is low-budget. Despite Aqua believing his sister is better suited to act in the film, Taishi wanted Aqua to be in it as part of his bargain to allow his mother to be a part of the film. Later, Ruby has a tantrum for not being able to enjoy Ai's loving embrace, since the days of her filming didn't correlate with Aqua's. A little girl, who was also in the room, scolds Ruby for her inappropriate manner and introduces herself as Kana Arima. It's revealed that Kana is a genius actor, and she complains that the twins' mother was an impromptu addition to the film. Before leaving, Kana chastises the twins' mother as a talentless hack who got her role thanks to nepotism. Afterward, Aqua and Kana play out their roles as creepy children who greet the main character at the village entrance where the film's setting takes place. As Aqua cogitates on playing his role, he acts in a way he hopes would impress Taishi. When Taishi calls it a scene, Kana walks away feeling envious and in disbelief, and the leading actress details Aqua's acting sent chills down her spine. Kana then asks Taishi to reshoot the scene, however he declines, saying it was perfect. In an outburst, Kana proclaims that it wasn't as her acting wasn't up to par with Aqua's. That afternoon, Taishi and Aqua have a heart-to-heart about Kana's tantrum. Communication skills are a big part of acting, and how having a big ego early in life can ruin your future as an actor. Although Taishi had high hopes for him being an actor, Aqua had no intentions of being one. Late at night, Kana was driven home, reviewing the script and vows that Aqua won't get the best of her next time. Now at age 3, it's shown that Taishi's film was a hit, and he was nominated for an award. As for Ai, who carried the film, her popularity grew because of it, and she started to become an up-and-coming media personality. Still, Aqua's previous life's corpse has yet to be discovered. Enrolled in preschool, Aqua asks Ruby about her identity in her previous life. However, Ruby deflects the question with a lie to avoid being looked down upon because she was young when she died. When their teacher announces it is time for dance class, Ruby runs away in fear and is soon approached by Aqua, who learns that Ruby considers herself a terrible dancer. Ruby then briefly recalls her time as Saren, having mobility issues. Eventually, Ruby accompanies her mother in doing some dance practice, where she points out that Ai's choreography is wrong. This earns her mother's praise for remembering something like that. Trying to recreate the proper pose, Ruby falls down, and Ai says that whenever Ruby moves, it's as if she's ready to fall at any time. Ai then tries to cheer her child up, and Ruby recalls being bedridden for the remainder of her previous life. Her only solace was being enamored by watching Ai perform her spectacular dance moves and hoping she could move like her. As Ruby started practicing her dance routine, Aqua secretly watched, noting she had talent as an actress and a dancer. On a whim, Ai contacted the twins' father, asking if he'd like to see their children. Ai trying to reconnect with their father was brought up after she eavesdropped on a conversation between the twins concerning who their father was. Recent news of Ai's popularity as a TV drama star and idol had increased, which Ichigo had drunkenly relished. Bikomachi was also scheduled to perform at a dome, which was one of Ichigo's dreams. In Ai's internal monologue, she confesses that she's a liar, and sometimes can't distinguish whether the emotion she portrays is genuine or not. A brief flashback depicts Ai being first scouted by Ichigo, who conveys her checkered backstory to him. However, Ichigo persuades her to accept his offer, claiming that lying is an essential talent in the idol field. One day, someone visits the Hoshino residence, and the person holding a bouquet of flowers congratulates Ai and asks if the twins are doing well. He then proceeds to stab Ai in the stomach, and then proclaims that she lied to him and her fans. Although wounded, Ai goes on a monologue about dishonesty as an idol, and admits that lies are a form of love to her. Ai's confession leaves the man startled and perplexed, and then Ai recognizes him as Ryosuke, someone who frequently attended her handshake events. Panic-stricken, Ryosuke leaves the scene as Aqua contacts an ambulance for his mother. As Ai bled out, she embraced Aqua while lamenting that her scheduled events would soon be cancelled. Blocked by the doorway leading into the hallway, Ruby demanded what was happening, and Ai complimented Ruby's performance at her preschool event. Ai then thinks that Ruby will become a popular dancer, and Aqua, a famous actor, while then wondering what her children will be as adults. In her final moments, Ai sincerely tells her children that she loves them and is elated that she did it. Days after Ai's murder, news of death is announced, and her murderer tried to commit suicide and was pronounced dead at the hospital. Her death drew sympathy from the public. Ruby especially took the public's dark opinions on Ai's death with great disdain, noting how cruel and insensitive it can be. Time passes by, and Ai's death soon fades from the news, and Ichigo and Miyako adopt the twins. During their mother's funeral, the twins sit in the backseat of a car, and Ruby says that Ai told her she has the talent to become an idol, and Aqua details the dark side to her of that lifestyle. Aqua then realizes that Ryosuke couldn't have killed him in his previous life, nor would he have located Ai's location without an informant. From his deductions, Aqua concludes that the informant is his father, and vows to murder him with his own hands. Approaching Taishi, who was at the funeral, asked that he raise him, leaving him astonished. Years pass, and the twins are now teenagers, where Aqua's revenge play commences. Ruby began applying to auditions to become an idol. She passed the written application, and is now awaiting results from the interview phase. The day after finishing the interview for the idol selection contest, she told her friends about the audition and believed that the company would choose her, and she would become an idol. Ruby's friends also praised her ability as she had a pretty face, good dancing, and questionable singing ability, although that could be improved on. Hearing these words of encouragement, Ruby resolves to become a top idol like her mother Ai and returns home. While she's walking home, she thought about her mother Ai, who was killed by a crazy stalker 10 years ago, and her memories of her past life. Serena was born into a poor family. She spent most of her life in the hospital as an ailing patient, unable to walk on her own. Despite all this, she has always admired Ai for her beauty and singing skills, and considers her her idol and source of happiness. Before dying in the hospital, she was thinking about Ai, and was eventually reborn as her child. After arriving home, she said that the years she spent supporting Ai and being her daughter were the best of her life, and was determined to fulfill her mother's dying wish. Suddenly, she is interrupted by her brother Aqua, who tells her to focus on her upcoming school exam instead of being an idol. Ruby wittily replies that once she becomes an idol, she won't have to study anymore. But Aqua tells her that he has no problem with her becoming an idol. But being an idol won't bring her anything. He says that idols' salaries are very low, and they have to retire before the age of 30. And more importantly, their daily lives are constantly being watched by their fans, which shows that only a small percentage survive in the industry, and the majority of idols end up devoting themselves to another profession. Hearing this, Ruby responded to his statement rudely, saying that she wouldn't be like her mother if she were worried about the cost and the return. As Aqua goes to the director's house, Ruby reveals that her brother has changed after his mother's death and has become a dark man who doesn't have any joy in his life. She also revealed that after Ai's death, Strawberry Productions changed as Ichigo lost contact and Miyako took over the company. Due to this incident, B. Komachi also disbanded after 2 years, and Strawberry Productions no longer operates an idol division. The next day, Ruby asks Miyako to put together another idol group, but Miyako refuses her, saying that the dreams Ai showed them will never come true, because miracles like that happen only once. Miyako then asked about her recent audition results, and suddenly, Ruby gets a call from the agency, where the man informs her that she was not selected for the idol program, and that they are waiting for her application for next year. Very sad to hear this news, Ruby begins to cry that she cannot make her mother's dying wish come true, but Miyako comforts her by saying that nowadays there is a lot of politics involved, and people don't fairly judge the abilities of others. At the director's house, he praises Aqua's acting ability for fooling her twin sister, revealing that Aqua was behind her rejection of the idol program, as he had sent the agent a message from her phone that she has withdrawn from the competition. When asked what would happen if she received offers from other agencies, since her level of beauty is extremely high, Aqua tells him that he will do anything to keep her out of this life because he doesn't want his sister to end up like his mother. The next day, a man approaches Ruby and gives her his business card, informing her that they want her to join an underground idol group. Full of happiness, she shared this news with her brother and Miyako, saying that her time has finally come, and she will fulfill her mother's dream. Shocked by this, Aqua tells Miyako that he needs to stop her from pursuing this opportunity. But Miyako tells her that when Ai died, she raised Ruby like her own daughter, and promised to give her a happy life, and make her dreams come true. She says she looks like Ai, and has the qualities to succeed in the industry. Hearing that, Aqua took her company card and left without saying a word. Then he approached a girl who was working for the same company that her sister got an offer from, and suggested she go to Strawberry Productions, Miyako's agency. Wanting to know more about the company and whether it would be a good fit for, Aqua decided to offer her a job at Strawberry Productions and asked for information about the current company she works for. The girl told him that she gets a small amount of money for appearing in all the concerts and that she earns a commission by taking pictures with fans. But she has to pay for her clothes, makeup, and travel expenses, which means she only makes 100,000 yen a month or less. She also told him that the manager of the idol group has favorite girls and promotes the ones he likes. Realizing that this job is not for her sister, Aqua decides to prevent her from joining the group and asks for Miyako's help in this matter. The next day, as Ruby is getting ready for a day trip to the underground idol agency, Miyako asks about her intention to become an idol, since the industry she's going in has a lot of harsh men and can make her miserable. Ruby confirmed her intentions, saying that she has always wanted to be an idol just like her mother and that she will do anything to make her dream come true. Hearing this, Miyako tells her not to join this dirty company because she doesn't belong there, much to Ruby's shock. Instead, she asked Ruby to join her at Strawberry Productions, where they would soon form a new idol group for the first time in over a decade. Surprised by this, Ruby happily accepts his offer and signs an exclusive contract with Strawberry Productions, stating that she is now theirs and that if she tries to approach any other company, she will be sued for that. Aqua then went to the director's house and saw his mother, who asked her to wake her son up for her. Tired of working all night, the director asked Aqua to edit the video for him, and he agreed. Aqua says that he's still in middle school and isn't able to get a full-time job yet, so the director decided to add him to her production team. When asked if her sister would eventually become an idol, Aqua gave a harsh answer. But the director joked that both siblings became entertainers, Aqua then revealed that he likes working behind the scenes instead of on camera now. Thinking about her mother, Aqua also says that his sole purpose as a behind-the-scenes employee was to find her father and give him a taste of the pain her mother suffered from having direct contact with the staff. Behind the scenes, employees usually come in contact with the actors and entertainers, so it'll be fine. He then told the director that the actors were very hard workers and drew people to see their performance, but he is not one of them and has no special skills like AI. Therefore, it is better not to cling to dreams beyond their limits. Angered by this, the director informed him not to give up on his dream since he is still a middle school student, and asked him to listen carefully to the words he was about to say, because he won't say them again. Before the director could say anything, his mother bursted into the room and interrupted their conversation, saying that dinner was ready and she was waiting for them at the table. Annoyed by this, the director asks her mother to stop interrupting them because he was about to say something good. After she leaves, the director tells him to believe in his talents and dreams, but Aqua tells him that he doesn't possess the same abilities and talents as his mother Ai. The director then corrected his statement by saying that Ai is very special and wonderful. But Aqua can never be like Ai, and she can never be like Aqua. Then he tells him not to run away from her dreams just because of a few setbacks, and only do so after having used all the tools at his disposal. Thinking of her mother's last words, she wanted Aqua to become an actor. Aqua is about to ask something, and the director's mother interrupts their conversation again, saying they had to eat dinner. Sometime later, Aqua and Ruby apply to the same high school, and while Ruby entered the Performing Arts department, Aqua entered the General Education department. When they congratulated each other on entering Yoto High School, they were suddenly interrupted by a passing girl, who heard Ruby say Aqua's name loudly. When the girl asks about Aqua's identity, the girl tells him that she is Kana, the girl who starred with him in the movie. She thought Aqua called it quits from acting, but is happy to see him again. But Aqua says he applied for general education, to her shock. Afterward, Aqua leaves for Taishi's home, and Kana follows after him, insistent on catching up. Aqua invites her to Taishi's home, where they talk about what Aqua has been doing in the entertainment industry since they last met. During dinner, Kana asks Taishi for videos of Aqua's acting, but Aqua refuses, adamant that he has no acting talent. Taishi tells Kana that she will have to talk Aqua into acting again, so she offers Aqua an appearance in a project she is a part of and has unfilled roles, but he refuses. Kana explains that the project is I'll Go With Sweet Today, a drama based on a shoujo manga Aqua is familiar with, and that its producer is Masaya Kaburagi, with whom she has connection. In Aqua's inner monologue, he reveals that Ai left 3 cell phones when she died. One of them she used before she was pregnant. After 4 years of determining the phone's passcode, Aqua unlocked it and found contacts Ai had in the entertainment industry, one of them being Masaya. Aqua accepts Kana's offer and gets in touch with Masaya, who gives Aqua the role of the show's villain. Sometime afterward, Ruby is surprised and happy to learn that Aqua will appear in a TV drama, believing that he is upholding Ai's wish for them. She and Miyako watch the show, but are taken aback by its low production quality, especially with the acting. Later, Aqua meets with Kana, who explains that the show targets the female demographic as attractive men. They feature models they want to promote, regardless of their acting ability. But to ensure the show's quality, they cast Kana, a well-known actress, as its female lead. Not wanting to overshadow her co-stars, Kana forces herself to hold back her acting ability. Kana further explains that because the show's production is purely for sales, it could never be entertaining. Even the mangaka of the story was disappointed when she saw it. Despite that, because everyone working on the show has been giving their all for a successful project, Kana hopes to make the show watchable, even at the cost of her reputation. Kana tells Aqua that due to her egotistic behavior as a child, she quickly fell out of favor in the acting industry after she grew older, and had been slowly working her way back up. Kana informs Aqua of the show's hasty production schedule and gives him his script. Trusting in his acting ability, Kana asks him to help make a good show. Reviewing the show and script on his own, Aqua sees that the production crew and Kana have done an excellent job making the show watchable and figuring out a way to make it look good. On the day of filming, Kana explains to Aqua that due to budget and time restraints, they only get 1 practice run on the location. Aqua meets the show's male lead, Melt Narushima, who quickly dismisses him. He also meets Masaya and finds an opportunity to get a DNA sample from him. After the practice run, Kana expresses her admiration for Aqua's acting and finds solace in that someone has been struggling in the industry alongside her. Now that she has a lead role for the first time in a decade, Kana wants to give it her all and is happy she is being recognized for her ability. Aqua shadows Messiah on a smoke break and overhears that he is taking advantage of Kana and has no intention of advancing her acting career. After collecting Messiah's cigarettes for saliva samples, Aqua, despite having got what he came for, decides to go all out with his acting. Aqua observes the set, planning to use it to create a perfect scene. As filming resumes, Kana reflects on her life. With her role as the show's heroine, she desires to make the show as good as possible and hopes to recreate the manga's most famous scene with her co-star. However, Melt's performance is hopelessly terrible to Kana's dismay. Aqua then appears and sets the scene's tone by taking advantage of the set's surroundings and aggravating Melt to get a good performance out of him. By ad-libbing the scene, Aqua can recapture the scene from the manga and allow Kana to act to her fullest. After the filming, Melt apologizes to Aqua for punching him, but Aqua reveals that he did what he did to ensure both actors could act their best. Meanwhile, the director finds the scene to be a good one, despite Aqua's interference. While filming the final scene, Kana realizes she has fallen for Aqua at the apartment of Yoriko Kichijuji, the mangaka of Sweet Today. Her assistants come over to help with her manga. While Yoriko watches the Sweet Today drama, her assistants bemoan the adaptation, while she already begrudgingly accepted the show's quality. However, after watching Kana's performance in the final episode, Yoriko tears up and is grateful that her manga got the adaptation. As for the fans of the original manga and the actors, the finale was well received and garnered fervent praise. At the show's after-party, Kana and Aqua chat, and she learns he does not have a girlfriend. Yoriko approaches Kana and thanks her for her performance in the show, bringing Kana to tears. Aqua gets approached by Messiah, who is impressed by Aqua's performance. In Aqua's thoughts, he reveals that after performing the DNA test, he confirmed that he and Messiah were not relatives. Messiah remarks that Aqua looks similar to Ai, having seen her up close. Aqua asks Messiah what his relationship with Ai was, and the producer reveals that he not only worked with her and gave her jobs, but recommended places where she could meet up with a man without her agency knowing. Aqua asks who the man is, and Messiah agrees to tell him if he appears in a reality dating show. For their first day at Yodo High School, Aqua and Ruby attend the entrance ceremony, and are later formally introduced by Kana to the entertainment-filled environment they will be entering. Ruby nervously enters her class, and is amazed by the attractive people around her. She quickly befriends Minami Kotobuki, a graver model there. She introduces her to Aqua, who has seemingly not made friends with anyone yet. Ruby then tells him about Frill Shiranui, a popular and multi-talented entertainer in her class. Seeing her nearby, Aqua approaches Frill and asks her to be friends with Ruby. Frill recognizes Aqua from Sweet Today and Minami from a magazine cover. On the other hand, Ruby becomes self-conscious about the fact that she does not have an established place in the entertainment industry yet. Ruby pesters Miyako to make her an idol, fearing she will get bullied by her classmates for her lack of an entertainment career. However, Miyako has trouble putting the idol group together and finding members. Ruby tries recommending Minami, but Miyako guesses she is from another agency and refuses to get into trouble with them, preferring a freelancer to join them instead. Hearing this, Aqua suggests that they recruit Kana. Observing Aqua's friend Kana at school, Ruby wants to scout her for her idol group. However, because the two are on rocky terms, Aqua contacts Kana to have them talk, asking to meet up after school for an important discussion. Believing the message could be for romantic reasons, Kana excitedly starts preparing. However, her mood quickly sours when she sees Ruby waiting for her, and Aqua elaborates that she wants to speak with her. Letting go of her stubbornness towards Kana, Ruby asks her to become an idol with her. Kana is surprised and says she needs to think about it, but her answer is already no. Kana is well aware of the risks of switching from an actress to an idol, which is far too great for her. While Kana is reminded of Ai through Ruby and can sense her potential, she is dissuaded by the size of their agency and her lack of confidence in herself. Before she can turn Ruby down, Aqua kneels before her and passionately persuades her to join. Kana tries to refuse but ultimately caves and joins Strawberry Productions. Miyako asks Aqua how he pulled it off, and Aqua reveals that he took advantage of Kana's empathy and pressured her to join. While Miyako criticizes his actions, Aqua believes he did nothing wrong, nor lied to Kana. Kana asks Ruby if Aqua has another job coming up, and Ruby hesitantly shows her the dating show he is appearing on, The Beginning of My Love with an Idol. The show involves high schoolers that are also entertainers getting to know each other and developing relationships through events on the weekend. The cast includes fashion model Yuki Sumi, dancer Nobuyuki Kumano, actress Akane Kurokawa, online influencer Memcho, musician Kengo Morimoto, and Aqua. After watching the show's introduction, the girls are taken aback by Aqua's upbeat performance around his female co-stars and disparage him, but Miyako chimes in to tell them that he is only acting like that for the show. Kana asks if the cast members can get into serious relationships and do things like kissing on the show, and begins to sulk when Miyako confirms this. While filming for the show, Aqua finds the whole thing dull, but chooses to endure it to get information about Ai from producer Kaburagi and clues on his father. On the reality show, the young entertainers will be able to talk freely among themselves and provide the show's entertainment with their individuality, while constantly being filmed by the cameras. Aqua chats with Yuki, who worries she will not be able to stand out. However, she quickly sets up a romantic tease between them in front of the cameras for show material, surprising Aqua. At home, Ruby takes it upon herself to choose which girl from the show he should date. She recommends Yuki, believing her to be a pure-hearted girl, making Aqua remark on her poor judgment of character. Despite putting their group together, Ruby and Kana have no work to do and have yet to agree on their name. Miyako advises the girls to make a name online and partners them with Pion, a masked strength-training YouTuber and the agency's top earner. Kana is doubtful but takes back her words after hearing his earnings. Pion teaches the girls that to become internet stars, the quickest way is to collaborate with a famous YouTuber such as himself. They originally planned to make a prank video. Still, after hearing how the pranks will be staged, Ruby wants their first job to be genuine, leading them to film themselves participating with Pion in his strength training dance for 1 hour. And Pion is impressed by their dedication to the bit. After completing the dance, the girls introduce themselves for the video, and when asked for their group name, Kana lets Ruby decide, and she happily chooses B. Komachi. In the latest episode of Love Now, Yuki tells her co-stars she is thinking of quitting the show, which garners good reactions from the audience. Off-camera, Yuki explains to Akane that she is actually not quitting and exaggerates her feelings when saying that, to which Akane notes. As the youths have grown closer during the filming, Aqua has identified those who have stood out in the show, like Yuki and Memcho, and those who have not, like Kengo and Akane. Nobuyuki invites Aqua for dinner after filming, saying that Memcho promised to treat them. Although she did not, Memcho treats her co-stars to some barbecue. While there, Akane overhears Memcho giving Yuki tips and jots them down, and Aqua takes note of her seriousness. When Aqua returns home, Ruby scolds him for breaking their promise to eat together on Sunday, and complains about the show's staged nature. Aqua explains to her that reality shows are not as staged as she thinks, and that they often show the true personalities of the cast. While that may be a good thing for viewers, Aqua states that lying is the best way to protect oneself. As the show continues, a love triangle between Yuki, Nobuyuki, and Kengo forms and becomes the show's center, while Aqua decides to stay on the sidelines to avoid attention. Meanwhile, Memcho successfully gets more viewers for her channel, but she also expresses concern for Akane. At her agency, Akane hears her manager getting berated by their president over her not standing out in the show and receiving little screen time, and she begins to feel their pressure. At Strawberry Productions, Ruby tries to tweet a complaint about a drink she bought, but gets reprimanded by Kana, who warns her about ego surfing. She looks at Ruby's phone and finds that she has been looking up her name online, to the latter's embarrassment. Kana teaches Ruby about ego surfing in the show industry and the dangers she should be aware of. While filming the following episodes, Akane attempts to stand out by acting like a bad girl and trying to get close to Nobuyuki, having taken suggestions from the show's director. While doing Akane's nails, Yuki and Akane talk about their desire to stand out, with Yuki declaring to fight with her to stand out the most. Later, a frustrated Akane briefly loses her composure and lashes out at Yuki, accidentally cutting her face on camera. Although Yuki understands Akane's situation and forgives her, Akane quickly becomes a victim of cyberbullying by Yuki's fans. Hoping to defuse the situation, Akane posts an apology online, but is only met with harsh criticism. Hiding this from her mother, Akane struggles to handle the negative comments online, learning that her classmates dislike her and losing what little fans she has left. As Akane thinks back to her life before Love Now, she cannot endure it all and falls into a depression. While walking back home during a typhoon, Akane attempts to jump off a bridge overlooking a highway, but is saved at the last second by Aqua. Aqua explains that Memcho went looking for her when she did not return home. After Aqua admonishes Akane for her attempt, a police officer arrives, asking what the two are doing. At Strawberry Productions, Kana and Ruby discuss Akane's current standing online and her mental state. Knowing that the show exposes its actors, Ruby recalls Aqua telling her that lying is the best way to protect oneself, which Kana agrees with. Kana then talks about how people on social media thoughtlessly attack celebrities online. Hearing all this, Ruby gets worried for her brother. Miyako receives a call and tells the girls that Aqua has been detained by the police, to their dismay. At the police station, Akane burst into tears as her mother explained to the police that she was unaware of what was happening. She asks Akane why she kept it from her, and Akane says that she does not want her to worry, bringing her mother to tears. Miyako arrives and praises Aqua for saving Akane, and Aqua says that he had to act quickly before it was too late since people died easily. The other co-stars arrive to see Akane, and a distraught Yuki slaps her before tearfully saying that she could have talked to them. Aqua tells Akane that she can step down from the show. Despite her fear, Akane does not want her and everyone's work to go to waste and chooses to stay on the show, and her co-stars support her decision. While that has gotten resolved, Aqua is disgusted with how the production staff and the people online pushed Akane to where she is now. Aqua leaks Akane's suicide attempt to the reporters at the police station's press club, leading to the news of it going online and sparking controversy. Miyako is unimpressed by this decision, but Aqua states that the real reality show begins now. While the news of Akane's attempt received plenty of attention, it has not made anything better or worse, and Akane's appearance on the show remains postponed. Aqua believes there is a chance, and compares his subsequent move to that of a poker game, to which Miyako reminds him that reality is not like that. Aqua asks Memcho for photos and videos of the cast, looking to make a video about the show from the cast's perspective. Memcho decides to help him out, and offers to upload it and get it viral with her experience as an online influencer. Similarly, Kengo helps make the video's music. Yuki suggests adding the scene where she hugged Akane, as she knew there was footage captured of it. However, because the production staff purposely hid the scene, Aqua asks the show's director for it. The director refuses to hand it to Aqua, stating that not only is releasing raw footage prohibited, but it could hurt the show's reputation. He also adds that Akane was not forced to do anything, and could have objected to using what was shown to the viewers. Aqua reasons that despite being pros, Akane and the cast are still young, and adults are responsible for protecting them. The director is convinced, and gives him the footage. Aqua works tirelessly on the video for the next few days, while his co-stars add their input. After finishing, they upload it online and successfully create enough buzz to change Akane's online image while solidifying the show's popularity. Later, Akane returns to the set to announce that she will return for the next filming session. Memcho and Aqua suggest that Akane play a character in the future, but Akane is unsure of what kind. Since Aqua is the only boy in the room, Memcho and Yuki ask him what his ideal girl is. Aqua describes Ai to them, which Memcho surprisingly deduces. Akane decides to play Aqua's ideal girl, but Aqua firmly believes that Ai cannot be imitated. Happy that Aqua made the video and went looking for her during the storm, Akane wants to repay the favor. Looking into Ai to gather information, Akane thoroughly analyzes Ai, including her history, personality, and character quirks. Elsewhere, Kana talks with Aqua about her rivalry with Akane as an actress, describing her talent as a theater performer. On the day of the filming session, Akane formally returns to the set. There, she shows off her impression of Ai, shocking Aqua. While watching Love Now, Kana tells Ruby about Akane's genius-level ability as an actress to get into a character. On set, Aqua is stunned by Akane's performance, which perfectly copies that of Ai. Not only he but the cast and crew are drawn in by the charisma Akane exudes from her acting. Memcho notices that Aqua has acted strange since Akane's change and decides to test her suspicions. She asks Aqua to grab a pouch for her, which he refuses until Akane tells him so. Mem and Yuki realize that Akane's new character is his type and tease him about it. To their surprise, Aqua gets flustered, and tells them to stop before running off. Akane quickly snaps out of her character as Mem and Yuki ask if she would date Aqua if he was serious about her, to which she answers yes. While the girls are excited by this development, Kana is less than pleased and stops watching the show. Meanwhile, Ruby watches Akane's performance, which makes her think of her mother. Now alone to gather his thoughts, Aqua acknowledges that despite living with her as a child, he never knew anything about Ai, wondering how much of her he saw was genuine. More importantly, he questions the nature of his relationship with Ai, as her son, her fan, or something else. On their way to school, Aqua calls Kana and invites her to skip school together, which she happily agrees to. However, to Kana's disappointment, the two go to the park to play catch, with Aqua even buying a ball and gloves. Kana asks why he didn't ask any of the Love Now members, and Aqua says that he is not that close with them anyways, and doesn't have to worry about any lies or ulterior motives when he is with Kana. The topic changes to the end of Love Now, as Kana asks Aqua which of the girls he is aiming for and what his type is. Aqua pauses and thinks to himself that, over the years, his mind has been adapting to his new body and environment as he grows up. Aqua says aloud, "The boundary between me and Aqua Hoshino is disappearing steadily." This makes Kana express her concerns about Aqua possibly having 8th grader syndrome and tells him to grow out of it as it is painful for her to watch. Aqua retaliates by hurling the ball at Kana, then admits that he sees girls around his age as potential love interests, adding that he prefers them older. Kana, a year older than Aqua, is happy to hear this, but that happiness quickly fades as she realizes that Akane is also the same age as her. Kana angrily throws the ball at Aqua, which he compliments, and asks if this is her first time. Kana cheerfully confirms this, saying it is her very first time. During their final days of filming, Akane thanks Aqua for helping her gain more popularity by putting on a character like he said. Aqua asks Akane how she could imitate Ai so well, and Akane tells him that she studied Ai and interpreted her scenarios about Ai to understand her better, one of them being that Ai had a secret child. Aqua asks how good Akane is with her knowledge of Ai's thought patterns, to which Akane says it is pretty well, and claims to have Ai pretty much figured out. Aqua is astounded to learn all this, and decides that with her talent to understand and imitate Ai perfectly, Akane is too valuable for him to let go after the show finishes. As such, in the show's finale, Aqua gets together with Akane, and the two share a kiss, to Kana's dismay. After wrapping up filming, Love Now's cast and crew holds an after-party, where Akane and Aqua are questioned if they will be going out for real now. Akane is unsure, saying she went with the flow then, and wants to focus on her career. As the cast members discuss having relationships as an entertainer, the show's director chimes in, stating that since the show and its staff will no longer be involved with them, the couple is free to choose whether they stay together. He then warns the youths to be careful as people will want to use them for their talents before throwing them away. Meanwhile, Aqua has snuck out to talk with producer Kaburagi, and the two discuss the show's rise in popularity, especially after the online outrage with Akane. Kaburagi overheard that Aqua was the one that resolved things with the video and told him how the higher-ups took issue with his taboo use of the raw footage, and had even discussed seeking damages from his agency. Aqua states that it never passed because their contract allowed him and his co-stars to upload candid footage on the show's social media accounts. Thus, he did not break any rules by uploading the video there. Nevertheless, Kaburagi is impressed, and, as promised, he and Aqua set up a date to talk about Ai. Shortly after, Yuki and Nobuyuki bring Aqua back inside to discuss with Akane the future of their relationship. Akane knows Aqua does not see her as a woman, but Aqua states that he is interested in her as an actress, which Akane is happy to hear. The two agree to date as an extension of their job, and Akane reveals that they already have a real couple with Nobuyuki and Yuki, who has recently begun dating. After the party, the cast members take their separate ways home. Aqua learns that Mem lives nearby, and the two walk together. Mem gets nostalgic about the group's time together and chats with Aqua about his relationship with Akane, teasing him about his reaction to her portraying Ai. On that note, Aqua remarks how she knows a lot about B Komachi, despite it being an older gen idol group. Mem confesses to Aqua that she originally wanted to be an idol, but she gave up on it after some setback. Aqua invites Memcho to join his agency as the new B Komachi recruits additional members. Mem thinks Aqua is joking, but her face quickly lights up with anticipation. After asking her to join B Komachi, Aqua brings Memcho to Miyako, who is surprised to learn that she wants to become an idol. Although Mem is currently with another agency, she is not affiliated with them, and her contract allows her to take any job she wants. While that has been settled, Miyako can tell that Mem is faking her age and asks for her actual age. Mem reluctantly confesses that she is 25, to Miyako and Aqua's shock. Mem explains that when she was younger, she always dreamed of becoming an idol, but wanted to support her single mother and 2 brothers by getting a job. Mem's mother encouraged her to follow her dream, but she got hospitalized after overworking. Mem withdrew from her idol audition and school to provide money for her family through several part-time jobs. After things got better, Mem was 23 and too old to pursue an idol career. She then went into streaming and lied about being a high schooler. Mem doubts she can become an idol now, but Ruby and Kana show up to encourage Mem and welcome her into Bikomachi. Aqua asks Kana to look after Ruby and Mem, but Kana is still upset about the Love Now finale with him and Akane and ignores him. At school, Minami chats with Ruby about Love Now, and Frill joins in the conversation. Ruby and Minami are surprised by this, even more so to learn that she has a sense of humor. The girls then discuss Aqua's popularity with the other girls in their school. Meanwhile, Bikomachi's YouTube channel begins getting more followers, thanks to Mem using her channel to promote it. Wanting to start making music videos, Mem suggests using Bikomachi's old songs while they practice their dance moves. After a session, an exhausted Kana goes out for a break, and Aqua appears with some water. While Kana is initially thankful, she remains angry with him and refuses the gesture. Before he leaves, Aqua brings up Kana's cold attitude toward him and tells her that even he will feel hurt if she keeps it up. Aqua meets with Kaburagi to talk about Ai's past. Aqua says he is a fan of Ai and is determined to learn the truth about her, despite Kaburagi trying to convince him otherwise. Kaburagi tells Aqua that he had close connections with Ai as he sent jobs her way. At the time, Ai lacked professionalism, so Kaburagi introduced her to a workshop hosted by La La Lai, a theater company that Akane is a part of. It was there that Kaburagi believes Ai fell in love with a certain someone, as she began putting herself together after meeting them. Kaburagi offers to introduce Aqua to the company's leader, which could bring Aqua closer to the answer he's looking for. When Aqua asks why he is doing all this, Kaburagi says he senses potential in Aqua and wants to leverage his coming popularity in casting wars. He also expresses interest in the revived Bikomachi, seeing the group as a promising investment. Mem tells Ruby and Kana that they have been offered to join the lineup of the Japan Idol Festival, which Ruby is eager to perform in. After Kana agrees to go, Ruby and Mem decide who should be their group's center and argue amongst themselves, then wonder if Kana would be the better pick. After bringing up Kana's successful bell pepper exercise song from her younger years, Ruby and Mem decide to determine the role by singing talent and declare a karaoke contest. Kana refuses to go, believing she cannot be their center due to her lack of a fan base, and begins talking negatively about herself. Ruby comments that Kana has been hard on herself recently and tries to encourage her. While Mem tells Kana to join them later, Ruby recalls that Aqua scouted the two and gets concerned about her brother's taste in women. Ruby and Mem end a song with mediocre scores at the karaoke bar and conclude they need more singing practice. They pick Kana's Bell Pepper song as a breather and discover that she has released many songs. After listening to one of her music videos, Ruby and Mem wonder how Kana could talk poorly about her singing. In another room, Kana finishes a song and earns a high score. After hearing Kana's singing, Ruby and Memcho attempt to make her the center of Bikomachi. Kana reiterates that she is against this and refuses to be pushed into the role. Ultimately, Kana gives in after performing with the girls and witnessing their singing. With the position of the center dealt with, Miyako brings back Pyeon to help the group prepare for their performance at the Japan Idol Festival. Pyeon trains the girls to build their stamina while planning their choreography for the performance. After a session, an exhausted Kana goes out for a break and is approached by Pyeon, who asks Kana if she regrets becoming an idol. Kana doubts she has what it takes to be an idol or the center, but shares a heart-to-heart about herself with Pyeon and considers falling for him. As the two chat, Ruby and Mem remark on Pyeon's build, which looks similar to Aqua's. After another session, Kana tells Mem about her gripes with Aqua, but also mentions how much of an impression he left on her when they were younger, which confuses Mem. As the group resumes their lesson, it is revealed that Pyeon is Aqua in disguise, while the real Pyeon is out on vacation. Aqua consults Pyeon on the group's progress, which is looking promising. Peon asks why Aqua is supporting them this way, to which Aqua says that Kana would not listen to what he says. Peon thinks otherwise, but Aqua admits he's rather fragile. Ruby is too excited to sleep the night before the GIF, and Kana asks why she can stay so positive. Ruby tells Kana about her past and her reason for becoming an idol, and she eventually falls asleep. Kana heads downstairs and sees Peon's mask. Eager to see what Peon looks like, Kana is shocked to learn that Aqua has been posing as him. This rattles Kana as she wonders how much of what Aqua said to her was a lie to make her take her training more seriously, and she ends up not getting any sleep. On the day of the GIF, B. Komachi heads to the event, and Miyako takes them to a packed dressing room, where many other underground idol groups fight for space as they prepare for their performances. Pressured by the notion of failing everyone and the expectations around her, Kana spends most of her time before their performance brooding about her failures growing up as a child actor, and how she started using self-deprecating humor to mask her pain over those failures. As their performance draws closer, Ruby finds Kana and confesses that she is getting nervous. Ruby realizes that Kana feels the same, and Kana admits she is more nervous because she does not want Ruby and Mem to experience the failure she went through. Ruby reassures Kana that they are all rookie idols, and since it will be natural for them to fail, they should have fun as they go. No longer afraid of failing, Kana embraces being a rookie idol as B. Komachi starts their performance. B. Komachi's performance begins, and Ruby, Kana, and Memcho take to the stage. Most of their audience consists of Memcho fans, but Ruby draws them in with a charm similar to Eyes. Kana feels envious of them as she appears to have no one in the crowd supporting her. Wallowing in her past failures, Kana wants someone to look at her, proof of her validation. Kana sees Aqua raising a white Kaialoom, her color, then performing a dance waving all the members' colors to support them. Watching this makes Kana motivated to surpass Ruby and Mem as idols and win Aqua and their audience's hearts. B. Komachi's performance is a success, and the group's future looks bright. On the drive home, Kana is relieved to learn that Aqua's relationship with Akane is only for work. Mem senses a growing love triangle between the three and is conflicted over which girl to support. The next day, Kana asks Aqua why he helped them while dressed up as Peon. After Aqua tells her it was because she would not talk with him, she excitedly teases and pesters him. Ruby is happy to see them talking again, and explains to Mem how Kana seems to bring out Aqua's old personality in him. Elsewhere, Kaburagi meets with Sumiyaki Raida over the production of the upcoming stage play adaptation of the Tokyo Blade manga series. Raida asks Kaburagi for young, good-looking actors to help fill the cast roles, and Kaburagi agrees to help. Aqua and Akane go on a work date and talk about appearing in the Tokyo Blade project, as they have been cast as characters who are an established couple. Another character is also a love interest for Aqua's character, and Akane wonders who got cast as her. Kana shows up at their date and reveals that it was her. Aqua witnesses Kana and Akane's fierce rivalry, and the two declare that they will not lose. After the casting is completed, Raida gets excited over Kana and Akane's dynamic and looks forward to Tokyo Blade's stage play. As the current chapter of the story closes and a new one opens, the crew for the play begins their preparations. Ruby visits Ai's grave, and Aqua once again swears to find their father. Subscribe for more anime recaps just like this.